Okay. We're good? Okay. Call Finance Committee meeting of Thursday, the 23rd of October to order. Could I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Donnell,
Present. Oh, yours is on? Let's turn yours on.
Mr. Haas, Ms. Polk,
Present.
Mr. Seroy, Ms. Weber, Ms. Parker, Mr. Miller, Mr. Hunter, Ms. Foster, Mr. Marion, Mr. Lowy, Mr. Llewellyn, Mr. Benoit, Mr. Alexander Hildebrand, Mr. Long.
Present.
We do have a quorum.
Have a quorum? Very good. Could I have a motion to allow Mr. Long via Zoom? First by Lowy, second by Alexander Hildebrand. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Welcome, Craig.
Thank you. Thank you.
I see no public comment, so we're moving forward. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from September the 18th, please? First by Hunter, second by Llewellyn. Any discussion? No? Good deal. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, nay. Very good. Motion carries. We will move on then to presentations, authorizing the county board chairman or his designee to sign an agreement for renewal of the liability inland marine work comp cyber insurance package. Floor is yours, fellas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, all. Thanks for being here this morning early. My name's George Ryan Jr. I'm here with Dane Wall. I'm your local insurance representative, and Dane is out of Chicago with Alliant. We represent the Illinois Counties Risk Management Trust with IPMG. We've had your insurance for over, I think, 9 years now or more. This year and throughout the year, we're in constant communication with your staff, Anita and the sheriff and others with claim reviews. We've had some decent years. Property markets are getting better. At the start of the year, we thought we were going to look at maybe a 5 to 7% increase. If you look at your packet, you'll see this year we came in at just about 3% over last year's premium. And that is partially because you have more vehicle units, you have higher property values, and the market conditions. If there are any questions, that's what Dane and I are here to answer for you. Otherwise, your packet that you have in front of you is the renewal information, and I'll let Dane say a few words about market conditions and where we are today.
Thanks, George. Appreciate that. Good seeing everybody. Thanks for talking about a little insurance first thing this morning. State of the insurance market. I know this is a tremendously exciting topic, but it does ebb and flow, and things do change from year to year. As George mentioned, the property market, which has over the last several years been a challenging market, with high losses and severe convective storms really creating a real problem for reinsurers throughout the country in funding those losses, has gotten better, the bottom line. Even after events such as Milton and Helene and the wildfires that we have all heard about, we certainly were concerned in the insurance world that does the property market have the capacity, is it well capitalized to sustain those losses? And we're happy to say that that it's done very well. And I think you see that in your proposal. So how do those more global events impact you? And the good news is that the property market sustained those losses. They were able to handle them, and it wasn't going to trickle down into having an effect with public entities, for instance. So you just recently had a property appraisal, which is great. The property appraisal is done free of cost by ICRMT, your insurance provider, and your property values increased by 11%. And that's good to keep in check your property values. So even with that increase in property values, your premium has maintained itself as being low because of the conditions in the property market. So that's good news. Other things, even with your workers' compensation, for instance, your payrolls are always going to continue to creep up. But the good news is that the things that you're doing to control your losses, to control those costs of workers' compensation claims do make a difference. Your experience modification factor continues to go down and is only a 0.64 right now. So it's exceptional. And as you know, George mentioned, the work that's done to manage those claims through things called claim reviews that are done with your management team, in particular at the Sheriff's Office and Chad and Anita, those are all very key to controlling your workers' compensation costs. And the workers' compensation market is a very a stable market at this point in time, so that is helpful as well. So a really good result on your workers' comp, and that helps balance out the rest of the insurance renewal as well, even in the face of higher equipment value and more vehicles that the county has. So all good news, really. And I can share with you that I work exclusively with public entities across Illinois, and this is probably the best renewal that I'm sharing with any of our public entities. So a really good thing to be where we're at 3%. I do want everybody to keep an eye on, the county does have big exposures, law enforcement risk, and the risk that is involved with jail and corrections is a big risk across the country. We're seeing big losses for those types of things. So it's something that we really need to keep our eye on and keep managing. And I think the county does a great job at that. Your insurance carrier partner that you have is the Illinois Counties Risk Management Trust. They have grown to over 590 members that are a part of the trust. So what that means is that they're very well capitalized. They insure over 50% of the counties in Illinois, so they do know county business very well. This is the public entity space that they work in, and the good news is that they're not going anywhere. Some carriers come and go, and you never know, but ICRMT is a good partner, and I think that's reflected in what you see in the renewal. Additionally, they provide a lot of other service enhancements like Open Door Legal, which is used by the county a great deal to help out with the questions of the day, and also other loss control services that are utilized by the county. So lots of good reasons that result in a very good renewal this year. And there aren't any changes in terms or conditions in your program, which is great to see. There's a few enhancements with your cyber coverage with a few sublimits that have been increased. But other than that, there aren't any other coverage enhancement or coverage changes with deductibles or limits. You still maintain an $11 million limit. So you have a $1 million primary with a $10 million limit for all your liability coverages. So that remains intact, and certainly available to answer any questions that anybody has.
Yes, Mr. Hunter.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Just a comment, gentlemen, on your how we comport ourselves as a public entity. We appreciate the comments, and candidly, before you came here, I was talking to Homer. I said, Homer, 3% is not too bad. It's better than 7 or 10% or 15%. So, given the comments that you've made, and we appreciate what you've been able to do, more importantly, the positive comments that you guys have made about our staff and our experience. So is it okay to make a motion now to approve?
Please.
3.3% increase?
Okay, we have a first by Hunter. I need a second. Second by Llewellyn. Okay. Any discussion or other questions? No? Okay, very good. And we will do a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Dunno,
Aye.
Mr. Hess. Ms. Polk,
Aye.
Ms. Weber. Ms. Parker. Mr. Hunter. Ms. Foster. Mr. Lowy. Mr. Llewellyn. Mr. Benoit. Mr. Alexander Hildebrand. Motion carries.
Motion carries. Very good. Very good.
Thank you
Gentlemen,
all.
thank you.
I want you to know my number is available to my cell phones here. If any of you have a question throughout the year on something you're concerned about with respects to insurance, I'm available to talk anytime, night or day. That's why I'm here. I'm your local rep. So thanks again for all your support.
Thanks, fellas. Good to see you. Talk to you.
Thanks.
Pardon? Yes, certainly.
Right.
Spot of tea.
While he's coming up here, could I have a motion to approve the monthly claims? First by Lowy, second by Hess. Okay. Any discussion on those? No, we'll go ahead and do a roll call vote then, please, for monthly claims.
Mr. Daniel?
Aye.
Mr. Hess? Ms. Polk? Ms. Weber? Ms. Parker? Mr. Hunter? Ms. Foster? Mr. Lowy? Mr. Llewellyn? Mr. Benoit? Mr. Alexander Hildebrand? Motion carries.
Very good, thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee.
Good
So the
morning.
claims report that you just approved, obviously it's the same report as before. Mr. Benoit, welcome to the Finance Committee and the County Board. I look forward to working with you as well. So just so you're aware, it goes by fund code, description of it, and then the total dollar amount for each fund code for this month of September. 565 claims went through the auditor's office for $6,949,017.27. If there's any questions on the claims, I'll gladly take them now.
Seeing none, continue on, please.
So claims that were questioned last month was 22, year to date 146. So it was a higher amount of claims questioned, dollar amounts to descriptions, and not having actual signatures on some of the claim for payment forms. So some clerical but minor mistakes. I do want to give a update to the committee. Over the past few months, our office has been working with several vendors to find ways to save money through office supplies and other supplies throughout the county. We worked with Warehouse Direct, Quill, Amazon, and Staples. And I'm happy to share that Staples would be our preferred vendor for our departments going forward. On average, this partnership is expected to save the county around 20% overall. I believe in stretching the dollar as far as it can go, and small savings adds up to big results. And it's my hope that every department will take advantage of these savings. And just so for a couple of examples, so like a case of paper, 5,000 sheets, our average cost account across all county departments is $53.50. Under our new agreement with Staples, that same case will cost us $39.49. That's a savings of $14, or about 26% per case. In my office alone, toner, if I were to buy all my toner ink cartridges, my cost would be $508, but with the Staples brand, it would cost us $294.30. That's a savings of $213.70. That's over 40% in savings. Over the last 2 weeks, myself and IT Director Jason Shane have been working closely with Staples to finalize these details on toner. Staples has agreed to include a 2-year warranty for every department to ensure that their toner would keep the life of the printer and keep the life of and their quality as well. With Jason's professional opinion, he's confident with this change will deliver both quality and value. I would like to also recognize Finance Director McCarty, IT Director Jason Shane, my Chief Deputy Sandy Hess, and Program Manager Eric Cavender for their help and expertise through this whole process of learning through Staples. It's up to each individual department if they want to go forward with this program, but I think there's quite a bit of savings that we can realize. So I wanted to let you guys know that. And before I forget, October 27th is the first working group with our representative from Staples from 10 a.m. to 10:30, and the 28th from 2 p.m. to 2:30. So for every department, I will be sending out another email as a reminder, but I think this is a great way to save money.
I would agree. Thank you for the work. Yep. Very good. Oh, yes. Ms. Weber.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wonder, in the procedure, are you having a stock-up supply room they check off?
So early on, and this is where Steve really came in and saved me and saved a lot of people, well, saved my department, was Early on, I wanted to buy a pallet of paper because you can buy it cheaper. You can buy stock up on whiteout, pens, whatever. Through this program, Staples waived their shipping fee, a minimum of $35. You can order a $5 pen if you choose to. Well, hopefully it's multiple pens.
Yeah.
But you can buy, you don't have to have a minimum, and then they would tack you on with shipping. That's purely free, and it actually saves us from the outside auditors, because I would have to keep receipts of, I sent this to administration, I sent this to the treasurer's office. It saves us on the backside as well with a lot of human cost. And with the program before my predecessor canceled the program, it was mainly in-house costs that were not added on. So that saves us on the human aspect.
So each department will still be charged for what?
Yes. Yep. And how the program's set up is that if I bought it, I have my own account with Staples. We have a master account, but the bill would be sent to my office, and I'd be billed separately.
And you will distribute the charges, the auditor will?
Staples will.
Staples will?
Yes, it'll go to each individual office. Probably in the first billing cycle or 2 billing cycles, there might be work, stuff I had to work out, but ultimately at the end of the day, it'll be less of a cost or less of the human aspect for the county.
Did it get put into the budget recommendation that way?
No.
Even nicer then.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Hunter.
Yes, just a couple questions. Colton, impressed with the report. It kind of jumps out at you, and you can read it easily. Question about how long did it take you to negotiate the pricing?
I believe back in February or March, I first approached the committee, and then I sent out a questionnaire to all departments. I will say I was hoping to have one vendor that would come back with a lower price, and since we already do business with them, it would be easier for all of us. But in a perfect world, that was not able to happen. So I kind of waited for that vendor for 2 months, and that's when Staples, the ball really started rolling with them. And I'm very happy with where we ended up with Staples.
Are you going to do a press release on this?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Anybody else? No? Appreciate the work.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
ILL.
I. Okay. Very good. Well, while the treasurer's coming up, could I have a motion to combine and approve the treasurer's report, the collector's report, the monthly resolutions? First by Lowy, second by Llewellyn. Okay. Voice vote then. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. No. Motion carries. Very good. Welcome.
Thank you, Aaron. Chairman.
It's all good.
It's good.
Chairman's
Just
too formal.
okay. We have collected 98% of what the levy was, or 237 million. That is just, I wanted to update everybody on that. Number two, and actually the recorder and I were talking about this before the meeting, there is a possibility that we don't have a tax sale this year. And it's because of the Supreme Court ruling in Tyler v. Hennepin, where the Supreme Court said that if you owe $5,000, for instance, in back tax and property tax, and we sell your house for $25,000, you're owed the $20,000. And our state and about 14 other states, something like that, don't do that. We keep everything. And so there's a lot of legal involvement right now. The legislature has not addressed this issue. Well, I take that back. They have, surprisingly, for Cook County. Okay, not for us. So it's being worked out right now by the lawyers. If they decide, so our trustee will be intimately involved. If they decide that we're legally okay to have our sale, we'll have our sale. If not, then it won't go forward. And I think, based on what Lori said to me, is that Cook County has put it off till, I think, June of next year. So they didn't say they wouldn't do it, they just pushed it. And someone asked me this morning, I think Eric Blair, what happens to the taxing bodies? We're a taxing body, so nobody gets any money from a tax sale that doesn't take place. So it's a big deal. Obviously, our rules right now in Illinois are unconstitutional, and it's apparent, and everybody knows that. Now we'll see if that is more important than bailing out the CTA. So that, and the last thing I wanted to let you know is that we had meetings with CanCom, Tammy Peterson, and with the Highway Department, Greg Hayden and his people and Tammy's people. And we have instituted a sweep account for them. They were getting, as of yesterday, they were making a 1/4 point of interest a month. So they were making 0.25. We got them 3.35 on a daily basis. So it'll sweep. They also have a fair amount of money that they hold on to, right? Like MFT funds. And where it's legally okay, those monies will be invested in a high yield sweep money market. So they both agreed to do it, and so we're going to move forward on that. That's the good news.
Very good.
Oh, and I just want to piggyback on one thing that Colton said. He and I have talked a lot about this, and Eric. The savings that he's going to provide, or give the ability to provide, elected officials don't have to go with what he thinks we should do, but this body gets to ask why you're paying double for paper, right? So I hope that's important to you guys, because it surely seems to me if you're paying double for paper, you're not really looking after the county's money. So, and Steve, I want Steve to be able to sleep at night. So that's all I have. That's all. Yep.
Okay.
But Nick,
Question.
Nick, can I ask you a question? Sorry.
Sure.
Because I'm not going to sleep now until I get this answer.
Uh-oh. You're not going to have it for a month, by the way.
The large distribution that you're talking about that may not happen, which is at this point over $400,000 for the general fund.
Well, yeah, it might not.
Make sure that the committee's aware, because what we're about ready to discuss just changed by potentially $400,000.
So just so everybody in here, especially the new people, understand, when you don't pay your taxes, everybody says we sell your taxes. We don't actually sell your taxes. We sell a lien on your taxes, okay? Which gives the buyer an opportunity come next year's tax bill to come in here on the first day that taxes are to be paid and pay your bill for you. Now you owe them the interest, right? So that they call that subsequence. We don't buy anybody's property, or the property never goes away. It takes 3.5 years, essentially. But what happens is every tax bill that's unpaid out in the county, so let's say there was a time when Clock Tower down here was, someone bought the lien. Well, the property tax on that building was over $100,000. So that was income that came in and then was distributed out to the taxing bodies, which were one of them. So having that not come in would be a huge deal, and it would be a huge shortfall. So we're praying that they do something down in Springfield, and I know Lori's organization is working on it as well, because they're tied into it too. But you know, it's good old Illinois legislature, right? They've known about it now for 7 months. So,
Mr. Llewellyn.
Yes, you said you're holding off on the tax sales for this year.
Not sure yet.
Not sure yet.
Yes.
But what would be the impact on previous years of sales?
Well, that's a great question. And fortunately, not much for us. I've done a look back to see where, what our exposure might be. And we had 2 pieces of property that I think we may have had exposure on. And it's probably $6,000-7,000 total. So it's, thank God, because there are some people that are going to get buried, because the lawyers, the class action lawyers, every day you're getting something in the mail, right? Because they're going out for people. They want all the tax sale data and all the delinquents, and they're calling them all and saying, hey, let us take your case. You don't have to do anything, right? And if they sold it for more than you owed, you get that money back. So in a worst case scenario, ours, like I said, it's not that much, but it would be pulled back from everybody. So schools would lose their portion. We would lose. Every taxing body that got a piece of the action for that would be taken back from. And I think Steve just basically said that our portion is about 400,000 from the sale. So it's extremely important to us. This is not like the surplus sale where we're selling property that is now owned by the county vis-a-vis the trustee, which is, that generates income too, but not like this. These are tax buyers coming in to pay someone's bill. I think Lori's got something to add.
She does.
So,
I think the Go ahead, Lori.
so further on this legislation or whatever's happening, right now about 30 counties in the state of Illinois have been filed with a lawsuit about not holding their tax sale.
We're in it.
And subsequently, what they're trying to do is also stop tax deed, which this is now affecting those tax buyers who have bought the last 3 years and are going to court, and they're going to court every day right now, trying to get tax deed and be able to record them and move forward the way they would. By holding off the tax deed, that means everything is in limbo. So our association is really ahead on this with our lobbyists about getting this resolved or worked out, or if we need more time, asking for a moratorium, just like Cook County has done on the tax sale, but not stopping any deeds from the past.
And to piggyback on what Lori just said, here's the beauty. The taxpayers come in here and, in my opinion, take advantage of people who are delinquent on their taxes. You know, everybody has an opinion. But now that there's lawsuits, guess who's suing us? The taxpayers. Because you shouldn't have let us buy them. Right? Because it was unconstitutional. It's not our due diligence. You had the tax sale, right? So it's, you know, it'll get worked out, I'm sure, but the speed in Springfield, who knows?
Did you have a follow-up?
Well, you said our exposure was limited, but what about the people that actually purchase properties from these tax?
It's all limited. There was only 2 that would fall under Tyler v. Hennepin. That would be considered maybe an illegals taking, and that exposure is no more than like $8,000. So, because most of our properties, so when we do a surplus sale, which is a property we own now, or through the trustee, the bid on that property, the minimum bid is $814,
right.
And a vast majority sell right in that area. So you're never gonna be underwater with someone who owes taxes. Everybody owes more than $814 by the time it gets to our surplus sale. But you know, I assume that what the state will do is they will hike fees on all of this to make up for what they're going to lose as a result of the Supreme Court decision. You know, they're not going to lose money, I guarantee you. They're going to figure out how to tax their way out of it, or fee their way out of it. But yeah, right, fee is a nice word.
Mr. Hunter, you had a question?
Yeah, I do. Excuse me. Nick or Lori, I got a general question about our neighbor across the street, the Kresge building. What's happening with that? You interface with the city on that, or?
Yeah, I think the Kresge building is owned by someone out of town for sure, maybe even out of state. I'm not exactly sure. I know that they were late on their taxes a couple of times, but they've never let it get to the point where it's available for sale, because that would be, someone would buy that immediately. For, you know, there would be a bidding competition for that building. So, and I don't think they're unwise enough to let it get that far. But if they did, you know, and I don't know where the land bank stands right now, but you know, that corner is arguably the most important corner in Kankakee. So it would be nice to see somebody, but no, Steve, there's no, since I've been treasurer, there's been no movement. Nobody's been in there.
Thank you. Sure. Anybody else? Good, Nick, appreciate it.
Yep.
Very good, thank you. Okay, we'll move on to finance, please. Morning, Steve.
Good morning.
This is for you, if need be.
Oh,
Oh.
a new fancy thing.
Yeah.
More do it yourself. Now I'll screw it up, right?
It's okay.
I can do it if you want.
There's always a back button.
Yeah, well,
Oh, you
well,
get it.
yeah.
We're gonna go that
Which
route.
which one advances it? Yeah, I've never used that one.
This
As long as
one.
I know the instructions of it. But good morning.
Just got the light too.
Spending time on a little button up here instead of getting started here, right? So I'll start off with the various taxes or collection of sales tax, income tax, use tax, etc. Won't spend a lot of time now. Anybody's got any questions? You know, for those that are new, welcome. Just highlight that, you know, some of these are most, I would say, most critical, and those that probably fluctuate the most, if you will, potentially throughout, and have either the biggest impact positively or sometimes, unfortunately, negatively. So we just keep an eye on trend. It also shows economic trend locally, like sales tax, etc. So I won't spend a lot of time on it unless anybody has any specific questions on any of the reports.
No, keep rolling.
All right. Next report is the cash flow analysis. This is the general fund and many of the major funds that are combined in our cash account that we identify in the system as 10122. So we keep a close eye on trend and estimate it out on cash flow. For October, we have three payroll month coming up. So we'll be looking into the future here soon, into next year. You know, with flow, the ebb and flow comes from property tax distribution mainly. So this helps us keep an eye on that as you know, as we proceed with the property tax in the bank, but at the same time, it, you know, like comes in a few months out of the year. So we watch how we stretch that out. So again, I won't spend any other time other than overview, and unless anyone has any other questions on it.
No, Steve, looks like we will keep moving to the SKDO audit engagement letter for 25.
Yes, so this is the first step in our annual audit, is the engagement letter, and on page 7 gives the estimate for all the activity that includes health department and the ETSB audit, specific circuit clerk things that they have to do for the AOIC, as well as for the county. So the total this year for all of it is estimated to be $102,000. So it does need to go to the board as well for blessing before signature happens. So this one doesn't need a vote.
I've got a first to approve from Hunter. Have a second, please. From Mrs. Weber. Okay. Do you have a question too? Okay.
Just wondered, comparing costs last year.
Great question. I did not look up.
It's higher,
that.
you go.
I can get that out to all the committee members, what last year's was. Yes, I'm sure it's higher. They do go up approximately 4 to 5% every year. I will
That's
write a
fine.
note, and I did not look at that, sorry.
Thank you.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any other discussion? No? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Daniel?
Aye.
Mr. Hess? Ms. Polk?
Aye.
Ms. Weber? Ms. Parker? Mr. Hunter?
Aye.
Ms. Foster? Mr. Lowy?
Aye.
Mr. Llewellyn? Mr. Benoit? Mr. Alexander Hildebrand? Motion carries.
Very good, thank you. Then we'll move on to FY26 budget.
All right, yeah, we have a. Okay.
What's this button over here?
Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
right
the
arrow.
right side, okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, you're Mike? Yeah. I should know that number.
Right, you should. So before we get into the talk, I just want to thank Steve, Craig, Anita, and Eric for all the help they've provided with this year's budget. We also had a small group of board members that got together and had a discussion before, the administration team took over, just to see the direction that we wanted to head with this year's budget. I would also like to thank nearly all department heads for being very cooperative during this process. It's really been a team effort this year. And I'm also happy to report that we're going to be passing a balanced budget for FY26, and for FY25, the estimates we should have around $150,000 surplus. Given what Nick just said, it may be a little different, and I see Steve nodding his head up there. And I also want to note that this surplus is a little bit lower than previous years because we're no longer relying on ARPA, and we've also seen a drastic decline in bed rentals. And I want to make it a point to say that the bed rentals are no fault of the sheriff's, but by state law, we're not able to house ICE detainees, which is, as a result of that, our out-of-county rental has been, going down in the trend of $3.3 million from FY24 to 25, and I'm that there's going to be an increase in that as well. I would like to give a special thanks to Sheriff Downey for his efforts in working with the administration during budget talks. He's been a rock star. What else would I like to add? Yeah, so I would also like to point out that our budget this year includes a $6 million courthouse renovation project, which is a full match grant, and you'll see those numbers reflected in the overall total. And then there's also a $1.5 million river equipment grant that's also fully funded, and you'll see that under, I believe, the planning line. On top of that, we have to keep in the back of our minds that health insurance increased, I believe it was 10.6% this year. And, we had a team put together to limit, that number going up. And I think that's a good number given the circumstances. And Mike Lynch and our small team there worked very hard to get it to that number. With the news from Dane Mall and George Ryan today, I think it's very fair that the percentage was 3.3% today. So I couldn't be happier with that number. I was surprised with it. So, I can't be happier to sign on the dotted line for that number. So, going forward, I guess my point is we just have to continue to, use our pennies wisely and seek the best practices that will continue to secure our county's financial stability, long term, and we'll work very hard over the next year to ensure that happens. So I guess with that, I will pass it over to Steve, and I'll interject as we go if need be. So.
All right, thanks. I just put a few highlights together here for the document. So we're voting on the second document. So just FYI, as soon as I sent the one to Joanne that we were done, we received notice of a public defender grant who we have been working with them, but we did not know the dollar amount. And it showed up after we distributed it, of course.
In true fashion.
Yeah, $162,918. So that's why there was a second budget, so that way it could be included before it was voted on and put online. And just from what we just learned here right now, we have in this budget, not only in projection for FY25, but for FY26, the tax sale is included. So we didn't hear yay or nay. I think we leave it at this point and see what happens, but with the understanding that the projections in next year's budget could be shifted by $400,000 in a negative fashion. So please keep that in mind. So there's a total budget for all funds that are included is $98.8 million. The total number of funds included is 49. It broke out general fund 49.6, and tort and pension, those are levied funds, so we always want to pull those or major funds that are mainly supplied by the tax levy, so we want to disclose those. 4 million and 6.7 million. Let me try it, Joanne. Here we go. It's the right one. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Technology.
Now you're going to want to use one every
yeah,
day,
I'm going to need one. So yeah, as Chairman mentioned, it does include a $6 million. The general fund includes $6 million pass-through courthouse grant and another $1.5 million. So the number is at 49 because of this $7.5 million of grants that may not be here next year. So you might see a shift down because of those two things. And then also the insurance, the health insurance, and I plugged in 4% for tort, so we've got more than enough in tort for our budget, as the actual came in at 3.3 of what we just heard, as well as as we know, the health, as we've discussed greatly, thoroughly, the health insurance at 10.6%. So just to follow up on all the fund balances as far as the overall health. I bring the past stories through only so that we never forget the journey that we've been on and where we've been in the past and where we're at right now. So we continue to see stable and strong fund balances, and obviously it's a challenge to keep them stable and strong as things change and ebb and flow on us. And as Matt said, the department heads all worked really hard to help us sustain that. And then this is the general fund balance graph, and from a graph standpoint, we try to include some of the highlights and what we just learned, but here also to answer any specific questions that anyone may have as well before it gets voted on to pass along. We will put this online. There is a statutory requirement that it's online for 15 days for public review before the full board votes on it, and we have more than 15 days between now and the regular full board in November. So.
Any questions? Yes, Mr. Hunter.
A yeoman's job, Steve. I heard Chairman mention about best practices. What kind of edict have we issued for the department heads to go after soft money? Is that in the cards in terms of best practices?
Well, I know we talked to many, and I believe Eric is working on where and if we can with fees and fines and how long it's been. It's been a few years for some of them that haven't been raised in a while that we're looking at. Some require like a cost study, and others do not. So that is a continuation work to try to raise those.
But are there any other ancillary efforts that we want the department heads to go after soft money, other grants and so forth?
So in terms of grant money, I've made it very clear to every department that I only want full match grants, right? Because otherwise the effect that it puts on the county is, we end up having to pay for a certain portion of that, which, as you can tell from these numbers right here, we're not in a place where we should be doing that. So they need to be full match grants. As for the fee study, Eric's done a couple in the past, and I've gotten costs, and this is in 6 months ago, of certain fee studies, and it costs us a lot of money to go outside of the county to do these fee studies. So Eric doing them in-house, saves us a tremendous amount of money. And we've talked, like Steve said, internally about, visiting each department and also, seeing when the last time their fees were raised. And I think we'd be surprised at, possibly some have been 10 years, 5 years. So, I think in order to keep up with the times, you've seen, animal control come forward and raise their fees. The recorder's been a team player over the past year and raised her fees as well. Obviously studies have been done. So those are sort of the things in-house that we're going to do to, make the timing now reflect the actual fees.
Pragmatic response. Thank you.
Anybody else? Any other questions? Yes, Mrs. Weber.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wondered, has the fee increase prospect been put into the new budget?
No.
Not as new income?
No,
so it would be an addition to it?
Yeah.
Have salary increases been put in even though some unions?
Yes. Salary increases have been put in.
Even if there's still negotiating going on?
Well, a standard amount was put in, even though we don't know, just to make sure we had at least, if not all of it covered, some of it covered. So.
Right. That's wonderful because that number is just to the dollar. So.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else? Very good. We'll take a motion to approve. First by Hunter, second by Weber. Any other discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Donnell?
Aye.
Mr. Hess?
Aye.
Ms. Polk?
Aye.
Ms. Weber? Ms. Parker? Mr. Hunter?
Yes.
Ms. Foster? Mr. Lowy?
Aye.
Mr. Llewellyn? Mr. Benoit? Mr. Alexander Hildebrand?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Steve, thank you.
All right,
Thank you
if
for
I
all the
could-
work.
If I could just
Please.
thank Chairman Alexander Hildebrand and Vice Chairman Long for all of their work, and I have to thank my staff, Chris, Lisa, and Jolene, for helping me, especially these last few months. This has probably been one of the toughest budgets, not because of the numbers, but and all the department heads. We're running a little bit behind, but we made it, and it's because of all them. So appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Seeing no other business on the agenda, we'll move to old business. Approval of 2026 Kankakee County funded HSA benefit. The floor is yours, Anita.
This is just something I forgot last month to include as a separate item, and I want to just explain it for a bit. One of our health insurance plans, the highest deductible plan, is eligible by the IRS to have an HSA with it. So an HSA is a tax deferred benefit for employees that they can put money into to offset medical expenses. There's a certain level the IRS requires for the deductible, certain other requirements in terms of co-pays that make an insurance plan either eligible or not eligible. We have one of those plans this year. We've been doing this for many years. It's always been a option for our employees to enroll in this. There is one that the county puts, the highest deductible plan, which has a $6,000 deductible, the county puts in $500 a year for single coverage, $1,000 a year if you have plus children, plus spouse, or family coverage. And that's to help offset that very high deductible plan, to assist with that a little bit. I didn't call for a separate motion last month and should have. It always has its own resolution. And as I got ready for the full board, I realized I did not call that out separately last month. So that's what I'm asking, is for you to approve us to continue this standard benefit that we have allowed those employees that enroll in that plan. That plan right now has, I think, 20 or 21 enrollees. It typically runs between $20,000 and $30,000 a year, the cost. And just so you know, it is always included in the budget, because as the way we calculate what the estimate is for the health insurance, it's included in that number. So it's already included in the budget. I need your approval to continue this plan, and so we can get a resolution and get that on the full board.
Got a first by Hunter, second by Llewellyn. Okay, any other discussion? Yes, Mrs. Weber.
So Anita, you said 21 people enrolled. Are 50 eligible, or what's the?
Well, I mean, anyone can choose this plan, right? So the issue is, it's one of our smallest enrolled plans. We'll see cutting down to 3 plans this year if that changes. But historically, 20 to 25 people have enrolled in the eligible plan.
And our discussion with insurance is it's great. It's a good plan, and I'm just concerned.
Well, I would say it's good if you have the financial background in order to meet the expense of $6,000 deductible a year, right? Yeah. Not everyone has that opportunity. So we offer three plans because we have a varied group of employees, right? And so we let them choose what's right for their family. Sure. Only one of the plans this year meets the IRS regulations for an HSA. There are regulations required.
And in that group who are eligible, there are more than 21.
Well, because all 500 employees can choose that plan.
Yeah, I got you.
Historically, they haven't.
Yeah, I understand.
Very good. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Donnell?
Aye.
Mr. Hess?
Aye.
Ms. Polk?
Aye.
Ms. Weber? Ms. Parker? Mr. Hunter? Ms. Foster? Mr. Lowy?
Aye.
Mr. Llewellyn? Mr. Benoit? Mr. Alexander Hildebrand?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, and I apologize for the oversight last month. It's one of those
Anita.
things that got lost in the shuffle there.
It's all good. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Seeing no new business, a motion to adjourn. Mr. Hess?
Yes, make the motion.
Second. Ms. Parker? Thank you. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.